Some call him Jehovah.
Maximum volume.
Some call him Adonai. But we lift our eyes to heaven and call him
I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. My Lord, my Lord. My blessings, if I should them as countless as the stars. My Lord, my Lord.
'cause you're the only power that can save this world today. Jesus, you're the only power that can save this world today. Hey, you're the only power that can save this world today. You're the only power that can save this world today. Come on and lift your voice. Did anybody come to praise God today? Put your hands up. Let's go.
Yeah. What up? Y'all already know it's your brethren, your brother, Virgil Berry, a.k.a. Stacks with the Facts. And we are back, Jack, with another episode of A Real Talk Podcast, Spiritual Roots Sundays. And we about to get straight to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And you know we're going to do it like we're used to it. Tap in and walk with us, man. How you doing? Christmas Eve edition. We don't give a, man, listen. We don't care nothing about Christmas. Yeshua was not born on December 25th. Cesar Borgia was, Cesare Borgia was, though. Tammuz was. I don't know about Yeshua. Right? This year we're going to do something different. You know, everybody's going to videos about Christmas this and the origins of Christmas that, and man, we already know all that stuff. We ain't about to be beating dead horses over here. Tomorrow I'm gonna have something special for y'all, man. You did. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some real ish. But tonight, you know what I'm saying, I've been waiting to have this show for about a good 2 going on 3 weeks. So I've been wanting my pops to tap in and walk with us because his insight is very much needed, but you know, he's been kind of under the weather a little bit. So he last time I talked to him, he said that he was going to be back after the first of the year. You know, bringing in a new year, man. So, you know, I ain't going to pry too much. You know what I mean? It's only so much, you know what I'm saying? Only so much influence I got, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? My pops is my pops, but, you know, he is a man and he got his own thing going on, and I don't pry too much. What he wants me to know, he'll let me know. You feel me? As long as it ain't nothing life threatening, I don't pursue it past anything what he tell me. You did. Smash that like button, click on the bell, and subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted my pops here, you know what I'm saying, for his insight and emphasis from his perspective. But it's all good. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to make it do what it do regardless. So smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. We're about to go in on this Christ Mass Eve, right? Mass is a mastectomy, right? Or cancer. You feel me? We ain't going to get into all of that. What's good with everybody, though, man? How y'all doing today? Hopefully you got your last minute Christmas shopping done. You got your last minute food from the store. You know, everybody want to wait till the day before Christmas to start doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was out and about. I was hanging out with my daughter earlier today, and I took her home. After I dropped her off, I stopped at the gas station to fill up. And guess who I see at the gas station? I see my brother King Els. You did? And I sit up there and got a bottle of that Don H off of the brother. You know what I'm talking about? Happy holidays to everybody. You know what I'm talking about? As far as like from a kicking it with your family aspect. You know, over here at A Real Talk, we don't celebrate any of these holidays. You feel me? But it's a beautiful time to, you know, hang out with your family, loved ones, friends. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to go to work or nothing like that. We got the day off. So enjoy it with family and friends and loved ones, man. You know, so I understand, like myself, a lot of us don't celebrate none of these holidays, and that's all good. But, you know, that don't mean we can't enjoy it still, you know what I'm saying, with being with our families and loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too much of a holiday for me because I don't celebrate any of these damn days. But what I am going to do is enjoy my day off tomorrow. I'm going to cook dinner like I, you know, normally would. But, you know, since I ain't got to go to work tomorrow, you know, so I'm going to make dinner. You know what I'm saying? My daughter going to come over. We're going to hang out, have dinner with each other. You know what I'm talking about? And we're going to relax. straight like that. But I got an impromptu show for y'all tomorrow. We're going to talk about some real ish. You feel me? And hope everybody tunes in. You know what I'm saying? You know, tune in tomorrow. You know what I mean? Might, maybe not. I might not tap in. I might go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying, relax. You just never know. But we'll make a decision tomorrow. But tonight, man, we're going to get to it because this is a show that I've been meaning to have. And I haven't been procrastinating. Like I said, I just been wanting to have Pops on here with me. But, you know, Pops has been under the weather a little bit, so he ain't been able to tap in like that. So now I'm left to do this because you know what I mean? We can always do a part 2 or whatever. You know what I mean? But since we're here, we're going to definitely get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Of course, we're going to do it like we used to it. You know what I'm saying? 2024 coming in, man. We're going to have a lot of different content. We're going to be doing, finally start doing them etymology for y'all, breaking down the words, the origin of them, and a lot more other things going on. You know what I'm talking about? Smash that like button. Click on the bell and subscribe to the page now. You did. Now, when we're talking about the spiritual roots of the voice of God, right? I want y'all to understand. You feel me? When we're talking about the voice of God, there's lots of scripture. Right? Referring to the voice of God, the sound of God's voice, or when God is speaking. All right. You did. All right. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You know? All right. Tons of verses about hearing the voice of God. All right. Numerous scriptures. All right. Just to name a few. All right. Just to name a few. All right. Just to name a few. All right. This is one of my favorite scriptures pertaining to the voice of God. All right. All right. Revelation 14:2. And I heard from heaven. All right. I heard from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. The voice of many waters. Right? That's powerful, man. You feel me? But when I'm talking about the voice of God, I'm not speaking on, see, and like I told y'all every trip, whatever the Most High creates in perfect fairness, equal quality, and balance, LSD has to come up with a counterfeit, right? So when we have the voice of God, which has the sound of many waters, right? And as we see with all of these, right? All of these scriptures about the voice of God or God's voice, right? Describing the power in the voice of God. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders, the Lord over many waters, right? And the Father who sent me has himself borne witness about me. His voice you have never heard. His form you have never seen, right? Right. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and eat with him and he with me. Right. The voice of God. Right. But of course, LSD has to take what the Most High created and come up with a counterfeit. Right. Remember when I told y'all, or I constantly tell y'all about voice to skull technology, right? This technology is known as the voice of God, right? This technology was used numerous times, even here recently, right? And it's definitely being used over there in Israel right now. And with voice to skull technology, images, thoughts, concepts, beliefs can be projected into the brain via human brain computer interfacing and or chips in the brain and or nanotech in the body and or a plethora of other things, right? Now, the reason why they call this the voice of God, right, is because, like I just said, they can wirelessly transmit images, thoughts, sounds, ideas, notions, beliefs into your head, right? And make you think and believe that these things are actually real. Hence the term, the voice of God, right? Right? Let me find this video. This technology is very real, y'all, man.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads. And those voices are being transmitted by microwave or other methods.
Well, several viewers asked us to investigate what they call electronic harassment. KMIR 6's Angela Monroe joins us now with what she's discovered. Angela.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon and several Valley residents who say they're victims.
How much more can you invade me than to go into my brain? It sounds like somebody else is reading the book, only it's thoughts.
We're not having a group hallucination. This is actually something that's happening.
These men all live in the area, didn't know each other before the voices started, and say someone is playing mind games with them.
But mostly it's a lot of derogatory comments about.
See, a lot of people I have been in contact with over the years, and even when I was in the joint, a lot of people were experiencing this, right? And I want y'all to know that that this isn't far-fetched. There's actually legislation on this. There's actually patents for this stuff. This technology is real, and they've been using it for a long time. So don't think that this is mumbo jumbo, make up BS. Multiple people spread across different cities, states, and countries are not having the exact same experiences without having no contact or further or prior knowledge of each other.
That we were thinking about.
Only time I ever had a whole sentence, he said, "This is not about you," which just frosted me. If it's not about me, what the hell am I going through all this for?
Kevin Bond says he used to have a normal life.
I was living in the San Diego area. I was cooking for a federal judge, and I noticed that I was being followed by a whole bunch of people.
According to the website, what Bond is describing is called gang stalking. He moved to Palm Springs to escape.
I started hearing, as you'll hear, hearing voices and what they'll call voice to skull or microwave hearing.
Bob Stansfield says his experience was similar.
See? This is not some weird phenomena that's coming out the blue, man. This has been going on for quite some time. You know, electronic harassment is very real. I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to do your research on that. Let's go.
It started a decade ago.
They were active in following me around here, and I started hearing the voices a little bit after the vehicular stalking.
Randall Ringer says the voices started when he was undergoing chemotherapy.
The first thing that was said was Randall Ringer. And I sat up straight and I went into the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror. Looked myself in the eyes, and I said, did that really happen?
Bond says he's found more than 300 victims locally and is tracking others across the state through billboards. In Johnson Valley, a Freedom House just opened to help people who believe they are being targeted.
To many of you who find yourselves the object of covert harassment, that there is hope and that you are not alone, and that we are striving to find legislation and we're working towards freedom for all.
Derek Robinson leads a national group called Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. He says he knows who's playing mind games.
Rogue government officials that are sponsoring this, also corrupt business officials, and private citizens.
And he also told us how.
Most of it is delivered by microwave, and I believe it's satellite delivered, whether someone is on a remote location using a laptop or next door using the desktop.
Bond says neurotransmitter chips that run off body electricity have been inserted into some people.
And they assign cell phone numbers to them.
What y'all know about voice to skull technology, electronic harassment, gang stalking? All right. We're talking about the voice of God. This technology is a counterfeit version, inverted version, right, of the actual voice of the Most High. See, this technology is being used to confuse. It seeks to confuse. So when you hear these voices, a lot of y'all will think that it's the Most High talking to y'all. But see, through not having or developing a relationship with the Most High, you wouldn't know the difference. A lot of y'all think y'all talking into y'all ancestors, huh? Y'all having dreams or having experiences where your dead mom or dad or brother or cousin or uncle or granddad or whoever is telling you something in the dream, Well, let me tell you something, man. Like I always tell y'all, this is one of my absolute favorite scriptures right here. And I always bring this scripture up because this is what I tell people who sit up there and tell me that they sit up there, got some advice from they dead whoever. All right? For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Thus saith the Lord. Right? And when I read this scripture, a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people get confused. Right? So this is my scripture I always go to when people talk about, I talk to my dead brother, my dead auntie, my dead mom, my dead dad, grandpa, whoever. The living know that they shall die. Right? But the dead know not anything. The dead is dead. They don't know anything, which means they can't tell you anything. Right? Neither have they any more a reward, which means they have nothing to give you, nothing to tell you, nothing to reassure you of. They're dead. For the memory of them is forgotten. Right? We're talking about the voice of God. Let me tell you something, man. And let me tell you something real good. Let me come up for this. All right. Let me tell you something. You listen here good. You gonna know when the Most High is talking to you. You gonna know. It ain't gonna be no spooky. It ain't gonna be no scaring you. It ain't gonna be no none of that. That ain't how the Most High operator work. You know. You'll know. Trust me. And a lot of y'all might get confused though. Y'all might be confusing the voice of the Most High, or should y'all ain't. So you can't confuse the voice of the Most High, but you can confuse the voice of LSD. So you can confuse the voice of LSD as the Most High, but you can't mistake the voice of the Most High as LSD. Maybe you never had the experience. That's why I tell y'all might want to work on or reevaluate what you think is a relationship with the Most High. All right, let's go.
Numbers are then run through a computer, and a computer translates your thoughts. This crime has been available to the military for 60 years.
We sat down with local psychiatrist Dr. Alan Drucker to get his professional opinion.
There's no scientific evidence and there's no objective evidence to show that what they believe to be happening is factually true.
So what does the doctor believe is behind these voices?
And that's a lie. That is a lie, and I'm about to prove it to y'all. Right? That is a lie. It just be crazy to me how these people could just blatantly lie like that. And they so-called doctors. You know, they're so-called experts. They're so-called leaders in these fields. Now, y'all heard what this dude just said. I'm gonna play it back.
For 60 years.
We sat down with local psychiatrist Dr. Alan Drucker to get his professional opinion.
There's no scientific evidence and there's no objective evidence to show that what they believe to be happening is factually true.
So what is...
Okay, so that's a guy who calls himself a psychiatrist. It says that these people are basically crazy. There's no evidence, scientific evidence to prove that any of the stuff they believe or think has happened to them is actually happening to them. right? I beg to differ. And as always, over here at A Real Talk, we bring confirmation of the information, right? Shout out to my big homie, Barry Trower. He did an interview with one of my favorite researchers and one of my favorite truth speakers, Auntie Deb Tavares, right? They did this interview about 10 years ago, and they was breaking down microwave technology, which is also used for the voice of God technology, amongst other things, directed energy weapons, everything that we are experiencing now. And basically, he's about to just crush everything that this guy just said. Right? Y'all can see that on the screen, right? This is a quote from Barry Trower. Barry Trower used to work with the British MI5, MI6 and military, and he worked in microwave weaponry technology, right? And in this quote, he says, in the very early 1960s, I trained with the government microwave warfare establishment. I looked at all aspects of microwave warfare when I finished my time in the military because I had a lot of expertise in the microwave field. And I was asked if I would carry on with this research. We are in a new Cold War, and this is why countries are developing this. I mean, really developing this. And this is why all the microwave transmitters are going up everywhere, because somebody, if they wanted to, could use them for other effects. The system is up and running. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We're talking about the voice of God, y'all. This is how this technology is going to be projected all over the world to give people the impression that God is speaking to them. If you're a Muslim, it will be probably in Arabic and so forth and so on. This is why they putting up the smart grid. This is why they changed from analog frequencies to digital frequencies back in 2008. This is why they have been developing this voice of God technology derived from voice to skull technology. All right. This is also why they have DNA collecting companies like 23andMe. They're involved with all of this as well. They have technology that they use through microwave frequencies, right, where they can specifically target specific genome types. I want y'all to understand that this technology is very, very powerful, and they call it the voice of God. This is why you get stories with people talk about they hear voices in their head, right? Do your research into this. Look into this. Your boy did the one shooting not too long ago. Little Latino boy. Can't remember his name right now. Went up in the school allegedly and shot up all them people. Allegedly. What's his name? Nicholas. What's his name? Nicholas. What's his name, man? Went up in the school allegedly. Said he said he heard voices in his head telling him to do it. A couple of these past mass shooters said that they heard voices in their head telling them to do stuff. Right? I'm not saying that they're products of voice to skull technology, but I'm saying it's possible because this technology exists. It's very real. And it's been developed long time ago. Barry Trower is an old white dude from fucking United Kingdom, man. He's been in the military since this dude is like 80 years old, man. He's like 80-something years old. And he is a certified specialist dealing in microwave technology and microwave weaponry. you know. Years ago, our government said to its scientists, when it comes to microwaves, you will only talk about things to do with heat, and that is it. So they won't even discuss anything else. They will deny anything that doesn't have anything to do with heat. They even deny all their 40 years of research leading up to this, although they said that this can cause cancer and all other damage. They say, no, it can't. We're only looking at heat, and heat is all that matters. So for the last 40 years, the English government has been lying to the people. And the American, the Canadian, the Australian, they have been lying. They have been lying to protect industry, to protect their profits, to protect themselves from lawsuits. So they were really just liars, and it's approvable, sanctioned by the World Health Organization without a shadow of a doubt. It is the same people sit on the ICNAP certificate. They sit in our government's health protection agency, sit on the World Health Organization. It's the same people. There are probably no more than 20 of them. But yes, they are going to, in my opinion, commit the worst genocide this planet has ever known. Not just people, but animals, plants. They are probably going to cause more destruction than a global war. In several hundred years' time, people will look back, whoever survives, and look at what we tried to do to stop them. Shout out to the homie Barry Trower, man. Right? William Casey, director of the CIA, will know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Y'all better do your research on who William Casey was, man.
Hello, this is Deborah Tavares.
See Deborah Tavares right here, man. What you say, the former pretty boy? That shit more common than people realize, at least in the bad is. They have been doing this shit for years. Heat a big deal. They have a machine as big as your hand that can heat up. Exactly. Yes, they do. And this is what I'm saying, the voice of God, man. This is all the same technology. The microwave technology can be used for many different applications, man. Right? This is Auntie Deborah Tavares. Her and her husband, you know, they were at one point in time, they were very wealthy land developers. You know what I mean? Out there in California, man. Maybe you might be familiar with the Deborah Tavares, the former pretty boy. And she lived in Paradise, California. You know what I'm saying? And as being a person who, you know, has massive housing developments as far as apartment complexes and stuff, you know, she began to realize and recognize, you know what I'm saying, how through the housing and zoning and licensing and you know what I mean, what's the word I'm looking for here? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to building stuff, getting permits and stuff like that, she started noticing, you know what I'm saying, coming across things like climate action resilient plans, right? And how private corporations have basically lobbied the government, right, to sell out certain industries to the corporations at the detriment of the people to test out their new, property development, to test out their new technology, smart technology, strategic military armaments, and residential technologies. I repeat, smart, strategic military armaments in residential technologies. Smart grid. Auntie Deborah Tavares was the one who was blowing the whistle, man, when that happened in Paradise. How PG&E post the grid. Tricked everybody into getting them smart meters on their houses. Right? Yeah, man. You know, the whole entire city of Paradise was destroyed, literally obliterated from the map. She's also the same person that blew the whistle on what's going on out there at Diablo Canyon. I just say this to my people that live in Northern California, man. I will be getting up out of there. That's all I'm going to say. I will be saving up my bread. And I'll be figuring out somewhere else to go. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Was it San Luis Obispo or something like that? I think that's the city that Diablo Canyon is in. San Luis Obispo, I think that's what it's called. Some down there in I think that's Southern California. I'm just saying, man. I know it ain't new, man, but there's a lot of people from California who don't know about this, and this damn sure a lot of more people around America who don't know nothing about Diablo Canyon. Yeah. I don't know why I always be confusing with thinking that's Northern California, but I'm thinking of I know Paradise is Northern California, if I'm not mistaken, or I might be mistaken. Yeah, but I will be leaving California myself first if I live in Cali, man. I'll be getting up out of there. You know, that's just my personal opinion. I ain't trying to be no fear monger or nothing like that, or panic monger or nothing like that. Yeah. Anyway, man, Deborah Tavares is a gangster, man. You feel me? And, you know what I'm saying? She had this interview with the homie Barry Trower, man. Now, old dude in the interview, I can dig that, the former pretty boy. He said, I ain't going nowhere. I know that's right, man. Stand your ground, brother. Stand your ground, brother. I feel you. It's about to get crazy in our country. I hope y'all know that, man. You feel me? Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, man. You know, but Auntie Deborah Tavares sat down with Barry Trower, man, and had this interview about a few years ago, about 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very informative interview, dope interview. Like I said, if anything, I'll leave the country. I know that's right. This is a dope interview, man. Shout out to Deborah Tavares, man. You feel me? She do a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? She definitely is a person who exposes a lot of stuff that's going on. You feel me? And you know what I mean? They done try to kill, they done threatened Deborah's life and try to kill her. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They done sit up here and ban Deborah YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You type her in YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You might see some of her stuff on YouTube though, man, but they done got Auntie Deborah through. You feel me? Yeah, she a big Saint. She the four pretty boy. I fuck with Auntie Deb, man. She's a gangster. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about? And I just like people like Deb who got the courage to really speak truth to power, man. You know what I'm saying? And put it all on the line, man. You know what I'm saying? This lady and her husband, man, they family, man, they land developers and stuff like that. But, you know, they use their money to, you know what I'm saying, for the right cause, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I got a lot of respect for Deborah Tavares, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of respect for this lady, man. And she did this interview with Barry Trower, man, back in the day, man, not too long ago. And they talking about the same thing we talking about tonight. Dude just said that there's no evidence. There's none of support, man. Yeah, right.
With stopthecrime.net, and I'm here with Barry Trower from the UK. And we're going to be talking about specifically this document today that was found on the White House website. And it's entitled Realizing the Full Potential of Government-Held Spectrum to Spur Economic Growth. And it says President's Council of Advisors on Science Technology, dated July the 20th of 2012. Now, we're quite honored to have an opportunity to discuss this document with Barry today. And a little bit about Barry he is, of course, visiting the United States right now from the UK. And in the very early 60s, he was trained as a government microwave warfare by the establishment, for the microwave warfare establishment. And he looked at aspects of microwave warfare. And when he finished the time that he spent in the military, he had a lot of expertise in the microwave field, and he was asked to carry on with this research. And it was a new Cold War that he discovered with microwave. Would there be anything else you'd like to add to that?
Only that microwaves from the 50s were used as a stealth weapon, as they still are today, only they are obviously much, much more sophisticated. The 50s was really a trial time where different countries were just using people who had no choice, prisoners, psychiatric patients, dissidents, and they were just, it was really beam them with this for as long as it takes and see if this frequency or pulse frequency has any effect. And if it does, we try a different type of group. But they had 25 different categories of people, including children and pregnant women. 25 different categories.
So that lets you know right there that they don't care about us, man. And this is in the UK, man. So just think how far advanced this tech is now. Right? I suggest y'all go watch this, man. It's called The Cooking of Humanity. Right? See it right there in the top corner? It's called The Cooking of Humanity. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Right?
Categories. And so from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we've been developing microwave weapons right up to today, and they are incredibly sophisticated today. So if any government says that microwaves have no effect on you, the question is, why have you been spending billions upon billions of dollars with the military for the last 60 years improving them?
Well, that would be true. And in this document,
right? When microwave technology was first introduced to us as the public, it was through microwave ovens. Remember the big, huge microwaves from back in the day? and cook a whole goddamn turkey in one of them joints, right? Anyway, right? This is how the technology was introduced to the public, as of, like he said earlier, through matters of heating. We talk about the voice of God now, right? But all this tech that we use today in society, y'all, all the tech that we use, understand that at first it was designed and developed for the military, which means in its origin, in its development, it's a weapon. Please believe that and please understand that, y'all. All the technology that we see in society started off top as a military application, which means it is a weapon. Hence, strategic military armaments in residential technologies. SMART. Right? The smart grid, smartphone, smart car, smart oven, smart microwave. All of this new tech is weaponry. It's a system. Yes, the internet itself. Oddly enough, in HR 1955, the government says that the internet is the main tool that is used to spread ideologically based violence, violent radicalization, which leads to homegrown terrorism. But who developed the internet? See, this is what I'm saying. And when we talk about this, there's no proof. Dude in the damn news thing, he said there's no proof to show that this technology exists. Bullshit. That's BS.
Barry.
According to Barry Trower, it's been around for 60 years. Now 70.
It has a number of experts that are involved in this particular technology and in this particular document. And I'll just name a few of those experts now. They're called the key members and spectrum experts, and they would include, and not limited to, Stanford University, because of course many universities are involved in this technology that are funded by the military. But the White House spectrum management team is Google, Microsoft, Stanford, and Harvard universities. And I want to draw the attention of Harvard University as being one of the universities involved in the origination of the Silent Weapons, Quiet Wars technical manual that is on stopthecrime.net. But also Virginia Tech, UC Berkeley, the National Telecommunications and Information Association, the FCC, and NSA. And there are as being White House.
Improving them.
Well, that would be stopthecrime.net.
OG, what's good? OG come through, bless us with a $10 holla on a super chat. Yeah, that's what Kaczynski said, man. The Unabomber, Rob Kaczynski, that's what he said, man. His whole manifesto was talking about this technology, man. So for the dude to come on that damn news clip and say that as he's a psychiatrist, he's a psychiatrist. What does he know about this technology? How would he know that there's no proof for it? You're a psychiatrist, bro. There's tons of proof for it. Right here in your face. Barry Trower, ex-British military, expert in the field of microwave technology specifically and especially when it comes to weaponizing it. They've been doing research and development in this tech for over 70 years. And that's in the UK, y'all. So how long y'all think the U.S. military been dealing with this stuff? Voice to skull technology, or the voice of God, man. This is why you got people running around talking about some nigga hearing voices telling them to do stuff, man. Look into gang stalking, man. Electronic harassment. You ask yourself, well, why are they doing this? Because they want to cause massive panic. Think about the election coming up. If you can hack into people's brains via microwave, 5G, 6G, 7G, wireless tech, you can hack into their brains and make them wild out or do whatever, right? I challenge y'all to think very openly about this type of stuff, man. Whether you want to believe it or not, accept it or not, this technology exists, y'all. It exists for a reason. Right? Now, this situation right here, man, it's targeting the United States military industrial complex radar, silent weapon system deployment, quantum computers, D-Wave computers. The White House was involved with this. Google, Microsoft, Stanford, and Harvard University, UC Berkeley. Man, y'all understand what this stuff means, man? Shout out to my man OG coming through, man. This stuff is serious, man.
But also Virginia Tech, UC Berkeley, the National Telecommunications and Information Association, the FCC, and NSA. And there are many others that are involved in this as well. So as we go through this, Barry, I would like for you to explain some of what you see in this document, if you would, because it's going through 13 pages.
So I'll keep it near me.
It's 13 pages, and they're talking about what the purpose of the spectrum is for.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could flip just slowly, each portion, it represents one page that is on our website.
Okay. One of the things you said, the universities,
yes,
for instance,
yes,
they may not be guilty. And I can give you an example. The government holds massive amounts of funds for research, and the universities apply for research grants. Now, to give you one example in the United States, the government asked one university if it could devise a method whereby if you beamed microwaves into somebody's ears, the vibrational frequencies in the cochlea, they would actually produce sound in the person's head.
See? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Y'all see what Barry just said? That's what this diagram is showing right here. That's what this diagram right here shows. Just what Barry just said out of his mouth. That's the diagram what he just was talking about. So that dude in that news clip, he just, and this is what I be saying about these people are not journalists, y'all. These talking heads we see on TV that got the nerve to call themselves journalists or reporters, news, political analysts, or whoever the hell they are. They don't even do their due diligence. They're just talking, repeaters. They're ripping readers. They don't do no research or nothing. Right? He gonna sit up there. This guy's a psychiatrist. And the dude who's the so-called journalist, presenter, whatever, he didn't challenge him. He didn't ask him no questions. Where, dude, you're a psychiatrist. How are you qualified to speak on this not being possible, or this? They're just acting. They're just having delusions. How do you know there's no science behind this? What research have you done? And here's the research right in your face. I tell y'all about this all the time. Voice to skull technology, voice of God. That can project frequencies through the atmosphere, microwaves, X-rays, radio waves, and now 5G, 6G, and 7G wireless frequencies, digital frequencies, and they can project these things over distances into your brain and create sound. It's quite simple when you over, enter, outer, understand the way the brain works. It's very simple. It's not a difficult thing. It's not even like that technical to understand. It's quite simple, quite easy. Right? The frequencies transmitted. Your brain decodes it. Right? It decoded as sound. The same way your ears work. Right? Y'all ever heard about the headphones that resonate off of the sound, reflecting and bouncing off of your bones in your ears? I forget what kind of headphones they call. Right? They amplify the sound by transmitting a frequency that bounces off of your bones in your ears, amplifying the sound. I can't remember what type of headphones those are called. Right? But this is the technology right here. This is the basis structure construct of diaphragm, basically the schematic of how voice to skull technology operates. How it's possible to be done. It's quite simple. Very simple. All right. And let's get back to the big homie Barry Trower.
So they may not be guilty. And I can give you an example. The government holds massive amounts of funds for research. And the universities apply for research grants. Now, to give you one example in the United States, the government asked one university if it could devise a method whereby if you beamed microwaves into somebody's ears, the vibrational frequencies in the cochlea, they would actually produce sound in the person's head. So nobody else around you can hear, but just the one person being beamed can hear the sound. Mm-hmm. And the university were told that this would aid the deaf enormously because people could talk into a device and they would just hear it straight through. It was also picked up by the superstore manufacturers who said, well, we can also use this for good because if we have shoplifters, we can beam the pulse frequencies to the shoplifters to say, you're being watched, put this down, mm-hmm. and we will prevent crime. And that was used for good.
The voice of God. I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Voice to skull technology, man. The devil is a lie, man. You hear me? So with that being said, this technology, right, is targeted. Like I said, it's a directed energy weapon. It can be specifically targeted so that specifically you only hear this message. The question is, why would they do this? Or should I say it? Should I change that up? The question is, why do they do this? What would be the point of messing with the head of regular people like us? Ask yourself that question. What would be the point of doing that? And think about when I talk to y'all about HR 1955. I want y'all to start thinking, man, outside the box, man. I want y'all to understand something, man. And I ain't saying this to like, you know, I'm not saying this for fanfare. I'm not saying this, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, shock or nothing like that. I'm saying this because it's what it is, y'all, man. When it comes to these people we dealing with, man, we are dealing with demons, man. You hear me? And I mean that straight like that, man. I want y'all to understand that, man. The cooking of humanity, microwave technology, voice to skull, the voice of God. We all own microwaves, probably. I would assume and guess that most of us have a microwave around. Put a number 11 in the chat if you own a microwave. If a microwave is in your home. Put a number 11 in the chat if you own a microwave right now in your house. You got a microwave. I'm pretty sure everybody has at least one. I'm pretty sure everybody got at least one. I'm pretty sure everybody has at least one. Or most people. I ain't going to say everybody because maybe some people that don't. But I'm going to say that most people probably got one. There's tons of research done. Governments over the world use this technology and have been for damn near 100 years now, y'all, man.
But it didn't take people very long, especially the military and other superstores, to think, well, hang on, we can use this for our own devices. So the military can now put voices into people's heads to do whatever deed they wish it to achieve. And the superstores have also realized that rather than say, put that down, you're going to steal it, if you're indecisive and you're shopping, they can say, you really do want to buy this. And after 9 months, and I got the figure from one of your courts because somebody took one of your superstores to court for beaming them. And they made a phenomenal profit in just 9 months, phenomenal profit. But because your Federal Communications Committee say...
Huh? Y'all hear that? He said our superstores. Who could he be talking about? Now, mind you, this was about 10 years ago, right? He said our superstores. He could only be talking about Walmart, Target, you know, Kohl's, you know, other stores, Costco, Sam's Club, you know. He said superstores. No, he said military and superstores use this technology. I wonder if he's talking about Walmart. Walmart had a case where they were using this technology to transmit suggestive messages to customers, suggesting that they buy certain stuff in the store, which led to them buying things in the store. So don't let nobody tell y'all that there's no proof about this technology existing on paper. Don't let nobody tell you that it's a conspiracy theory. No, it's very real. Very, very real.
Microwaves are safe. The case fell.
Right, because there's no standards.
No. So,
well, they know what the standards are. They're just not.
All I'm saying, when you're reading out the universities, and they may be acting totally innocently, and it may be that the recipients, after the research is done, say, now we will turn this to our advantage.
And that's very possible because so much is compartmentalized, and that's how they're keeping this monster escalating.
Yes,
to the degree that.
Now pay attention to what Deborah just said, y'all. She said it's compartmentalized. Understand what that means. That means that you could be an electrical engineer student at MIT working on a certain project, right? But you don't understand that you're actually working on a project that the government is actually actively using this R&D for creating some type of weapon. You understand? You could be a student at MIT. You could be a student at Stanford. You could be a student at Harvard or Princeton or Brown or Green or Yale or wherever, working on certain things because you may be a genius. You may be, I don't want to use that word. I don't want to use that. You may be real advanced. You may be real skilled in the field, right? And they want to use your brain to create their technology for them, man. So they'll have some kids who are real good, real nifty with electrical engineering, and they'll have them do research and development into actual technology that they're using in real time and making military applications for it. Right? Tap in, walk with us, y'all. We're talking about the voice of God, man. Microwave technology, voice to skull technology. You feel me? Tap in, walk with us, man. Hey, man, everybody say a prayer for my pops, man. You know what I'm talking about? He been a little bit under the weather, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep him in our prayers and, man, say make sure pops get better, man. But, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it moving and keep it grooving. You dig? All praises be to the Most High. Let's go, Auntie Dad. Let's go, Barry.
It's deception.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I find so true in the silent weapons document is they talk about the real and the stated goals. And so what we're seeing are what the real goals are, but what they tell us the stated goals are. So we're buying a lot of this advancement in technologies based on what sounds good as a stated goal, but then there's the real goal. And I think as a global population, when you look at the silent weapons protocol, that's that 44-page document that we spoke about just a bit ago, we can see that this is a well-planned program overall by a few. And so certainly while many are unaware of what is happening, a few are. The most wealthy, knowledgeable, the ones with the mythologies to carry out without our knowledge or consent.
This was programmed in 1976. I can tell you from the title, I know it's programmed in 1976. Because in 1976, your government produced a list of all of the illnesses that you can develop from continuous low-level microwave radiation. Everything, neurological, physiological illnesses. But in the same document that was released under the Freedom of Information, and I've referenced it in my latest paper that I'm reading tonight.
Okay.
If you get a copy of that paper, it's referenced in there. But what your government also did that was rather naughty, they asked all of the other governments in the world, the influential governments in the world, basically to deceive the public. And they were to deceive the public really for two reasons. The first is to avoid lawsuits. And the second was to protect industrial profit.
So the bottom line is massive corporate profit at all
absolutely.
costs.
And your government...
See? There's always some money to be made, man. At the end of the day, it's money to be made, y'all. So, if anything, what you should get out of this is that we are expendable. Kind of puts you in the mind frame of thinking why they start coming out with the movie series called Expendables. You know what I'm talking about? We expendable, baby. It ain't like we ain't been knew that, though. You feel me? We been knew that, y'all. They've been showing us that, especially specifically here recently in the past, like, let's say 10 years. Oh, they've been showing us how expendable we is. Right? Who would disagree with me on that? It's like we in a petri dish, man. We're in a big, huge petri dish. Right? And we are expendable. Right? Michael Jackson told us back in the day, man, they don't really care about us, man. You know what I'm talking about? And look at the levels of diabolical. I'm talking about, look at the diabolical levels that these people go to just to exude control over the masses. Now, mind y'all, the people who are doing this are less than 1% of the total global human population. You hear me? Less than 1%. Shout out to Auntie Dale. Shout out to Barry, man. This is cold game right here, man. The cooking of humanity, man.
Printed it, and I've written it down. They say that basically the public must be deceived to protect industrial profit. And this is here. It's in the title, economic growth.
That's exactly right. And also in the silent weapons document that you're well aware of, they also talk about the key to global control is through energy. And we see that happening now with the frequencies and the micro.
Right. Now think about it, y'all. Think about the movie that they just dropped not too long ago, Leave the World Behind. Right? You feel me? Matter of fact, I ain't going front y'all. Tomorrow for Christmas, I'm going to do, remember I told you I was going to do a part 2 to breaking down Leave the World Behind when I did part 1? We're going to do part 2 tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do part 2. Christmas Day, we're going to break down Leave the World Behind part 2, man. You feel me? It's going to be a beautiful thing, man. But anyway, listen, man. Voice to skull technology. We talking about the voice of God, man. This technology has been being used for a long time, and now they're upgrading it. You hear me? They're upgrading the tech. You know? Let's go.
It's all energy. We're energy. And they want to control it all, even us.
There is a counter argument, and I deliberately do not take sides. I look at arguments from both sides, and I decide myself who I think is right and wrong. But a counter argument that I do not accept from the English or the American governments is that enemy countries, there are some 40 countries developing this technology for all sorts of reasons. And the governments argue that to combat, if the waves were used on the United States, they would know exactly what to look for, they would know the frequencies, they could jam them. And I can go along with that. We pay governments to protect us. What I cannot go along with is the fact that 25 categories of persons without their choice, and in many cases without their knowledge, are being experimented upon with these particular frequencies to cause all of this. That is wrong.
Now, would you say at this point, at the increased level of technology, that we're roughly unaware up to maybe 50 years? They have an advanced technology base 50 years beyond our even being aware of what they have available?
Are you asking, I'm not sure I understand fully the question, I'm sorry.
Okay. What we're understanding minimally is that there is a 50-year variation of advanced technologies that are out there 50 years ahead of time that we are unaware even exist right now.
No. You can't have technology 50 years hence. We do not have, you can have ideas 50 years hence. You cannot have technology 50 years hence because the world can't keep that many secrets. And scientists, there are scientists, and I go to countries all over the world. I go to countries that despise the United States, and I go to countries that love the United States. I go to countries that are at war with countries I've just left. And I really don't take a stand for or against anybody. But
see, I want y'all to focus on what Barry is saying, man. You feel me? He ain't like, you know, he basically saying he don't mess with none of these governments because basically all these governments are using this technology. All the power countries on the planet are using this tech, basically. That's basically what Barry's saying right there, man. They're all using this tech, man, to some degree. Right? And him knowing what this technology is, you know, the origins of its applications, the full extent of what it could be used for, you know, I'll probably be on the same stuff as he was on, man. Like, I don't trust none of these governments because the very fact that any government would be investing billions of dollars into the research and development of this technology, knowing its applications, that's to let you know. It basically lets you know what everything you need to know about that government, right? Because what are you using this technology for, right? Just think about that, y'all. People talking about they be hearing voices in their head. People who we've been led to believe is probably crazy. When they say they hear voices in the head or they, whatever the situation may be, maybe some of y'all done have heard voices in your head before. Huh? You might not be as crazy as you believe yourself to be. You understand? Might be a targeted individual.
The scientific community that I talk with at these conferences, they often say to me, if you go to this country, please warn them about this. Scientists in the whole do not want mass genocide. They do not want total government control because they have families and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And a lot of the help that I get are from talking virtually all night to international scientists who say, well, we've done this. And they will say, well, we've also done that. And if you put these two together, it agrees with what he says. So scientists talk, and 50 years hence, it wouldn't be kept secret. It wouldn't be kept secret. The ideas can be there, but the knowledge which I have today of where we are at the moment cannot be exceeded because we do not have the people that clever to exceed it.
Would you say, as far as the microwave targeting of mass populations now, which is what this is showing, is the intention? Before, where we were talking about more specific targeted people, hundreds of thousands globally.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a map here that really does show a mass targeting, particularly of the United States.
Oh, absolutely. If you can, and really this is one of the ideas behind the smart meter, where they put them in everybody's homes. What they can do now, they can watch, if they wish, they have the technology too. They can watch every single person in their house. They can watch you go to bed. They can watch what you're doing in bed. They can watch you on the toilet and in the bath. They can hear every single word you're saying. They have a machine which will measure your hormone levels. They have a machine, provided they're within 150 feet, they can measure your brain activity, and they can even tell what frame of mind you're in. Now, if they can do this to an entire population.
Now think about that, man. Think about what Barry just said, man. What they can do with this technology, this microwave-based technology. Do y'all remember during lockdown, prior to lockdown, all across America, AEP and all the power companies were issuing letters to people letting us know that they were replacing our electric meters with smart meters. Y'all remember that? The same smart meters that were issued in Paradise, California, that contributed to all those fires happening at all those houses, amongst other things. right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember during that time, your power company was telling you sending you letters where you can opt out to have a smart meter replaced on your house. Y'all remember that? I know out this way we got AEP, American Electric and Power. I don't know if you're on that West Coast, y'all got either Southern Edison or y'all got PG&E. All right. Oh, sucked their way to the top. Harris is involved with Diablo Canyon as well. Right? Think about what they can do with this technology, man.
Most people would not like it done to them, but they will be unaffected. And from the government's point of view is we're really not interested in 98% of the population anyway, but we want the 2% that could be dangerous to the American citizens. But that doesn't apply. They then go on to say, well, hang on, there's a group there that are obstructing us doing this, demonstrators. We'll watch those. And then you get to people of specific religions and people with long hair and people who smoke cannabis.
Peep what Barry just said, man. Peep what Barry just said, man. Right? They can get very specific with this technology, man. They can get it down to the genome type. They can get it down to where they target specific groups of people on a genetic basis. Understand how pinpoint accurate they can get with this technology as far as it being a directed energy weapon with using frequencies. They can get very, very accurate with this technology as a weapon. They can get very precise and strategic with it, specific. I'm talking about black males between the ages of 18 and 25 who weigh 150 pounds and or a certain height with a hair color specific. Y'all think they ain't practicing and using this stuff in different areas and applications, like say the music industry? Let's go.
And the level comes down and down and down to the point where they're actually monitoring about 75% of the population, and they have the computer technology to do this.
Well, that is what we're understanding is the intention of this.
Yeah.
And what this is, of course, depicting is psychotronic weapons for mass mind control and about quantum computers and mind theft.
Right.
And invasion of the human brain with artificial intelligence.
Right.
Could you explain that to people, what that means?
Well, the first thing, when you, with this, when you blanket a whole area, there are different reasons for monitoring populations. And right now in the United States, there could be, to my knowledge, between 40 and 45 countries blanketing people with microwaves. And you don't need, all you need is a few vehicles, blanketing people with microwaves for specific purposes. Now, I grew up in the Cold War era with spies, and forget James Bond and everything to do with silly things like that. The main weapon of a spy, any spy from any country, the main weapon is blackmail. That is the main weapon. Because, for instance, if I'm from a country and I want to get a spy into the United States, they're going to need documentation. To get a passport or a birth certificate or some form of documentation, you need a professional person or two, like a lawyer, to sign an affidavit or something to say, I have known this person since they were 0 years old. They are now 22. I can identify them, everything. They are a person. Now, to get a professional person like a lawyer or something, if you blanket an area with microwaves, you know every conversation they're having, you know where they go, what they're doing. Now, for instance, if you have a person who is a pedophile, a person who has a mistress or two, a person who is a secret alcoholic or gambler, and they would lose their job if it became known. All they have to do is go up to that person and say, this is what we have on you, and you're from another country, obviously. This is what we have on you. We will give you a choice and you make your decision now. And this is what they do. You make your decision now. Either this goes in your local press, in the Sunday newspaper, you will lose your job, your children come out of university with disgrace, your wife will leave you and run away and hide, you will lose your house, everything, and you will never work again. You will be a beggar on the streets if you're lucky. Or you can sign this piece of paper to say that you know this individual, they are an upstanding person, they deserve the passport or a job reference, they should get this job because they are highly recommended. You will sign that, we will go away, you will never see us again. Most people, given 10 seconds thought, will sign and walk away and breathe a sigh of relief. That is one aspect of this, the blanketing a whole area. So it may not be the United States, there could be up to 40 countries. And I can assure you there are 40 countries who would like to get spies in the United States. And when they're in, they're in. And then it goes on from there. So you have, I don't like the word mind control because you don't really control the mind. You can change it to act in a different behavior, but you do not permanently control it. You can make people do things, and that's very easy. I could do it. I could do it to you in less than 3 days.
So such as assassins.
I could turn you into an assassin in less than 3 days. That's easy. So there are lots and lots and lots.
Hold on. Barry said he could turn you to an assassin in 3 days. He said that's easy. All right. Remember when I talked to y'all about compartmentalization? Alters. As in altered states of awareness or reality. Right? Think about it, man. Think about it, man. I want y'all to do your research into voice to skull technology, man. You know what I mean? And see how prevalent it is in our society right now as we speak, right? And one of the main reasons why I'm having this show is to put, like I say, to put y'all up on game, man. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the spiritual roots of it, you know what I'm saying, like I say, this technology is mimicking, copying, duplicating, manufacturing the voice of the Most High, right? And I'm showing y'all all of this to let y'all know that I want y'all to know the difference, because y'all will know if it ever happens to you. You gonna know when it's the Most High, man. The Most High reveal himself to you, man. It ain't gonna be nothing spooky. It ain't gonna be nothing scary. Definitely not gonna use no dead auntie, grandma, dad, cousin, brother, homeboy, none of that. None of that. No, when the Most High gets in contact with you, it's a direct connect. You did. A direct connect, Jack. I'm gonna just tell you that much, man. A direct connect. Let's go, man.
Different reasons for blanketing an area and watching people. And 98% of the population probably will not be affected. But it is the fact that you have no choice. And if you upset somebody in the government, they can abuse their authority and target you.
In this document, next to the map that's actually in the document itself, it says that they will use extended white space system already in operations as a starting system.
Well, there's a contradiction in terms there, because white zones, white area, white space is usually an area totally free from radiation. Or it can mean an area which is blanketed, like a white blanket across an area. So different countries use different terms. So it could mean a totally free area, a zone-free area, or it could mean an area which is already totally blanketed, so that no other country can put their frequency into this area because it would be jammed. And only the United States will control this area.
Okay, so in respect to this document, this could be a white space then in place that would protect the United States.
This document is so bland that when you read anything, it could mean 3 or 4 different things.
Okay.
It really is so bland, and deliberately so.
And yes, exactly. Well, they also talk about modifying the rules to allow general authorized access devices to operate in 2 bands. Are you familiar with what this may mean, or is this all part
Well,
of...
again, I mean, there are around 300,000 million bands they could use. Mm-hmm. So whichever ones they're talking about, I don't know. Again, it isn't specific enough. Mm-hmm. They've deliberately, it sounds interesting to the person and profitable, and the technology is going to roll, but what they're going to do with it is anybody's guess. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was written in case it fell into enemy hands. Mm-hmm. So people wouldn't understand what they were doing, or clever people wouldn't understand what they were doing.
Well, we do know one thing, the title, which I know you've discussed in Ireland when you brought this document up, where it said, realizing the full potential of government-held spectrum to spur economic growth.
Exactly.
And the economic growth is not for the country's citizens.
It's for the industry.
It's for the corporations in the industry.
Exactly.
That's correct. Okay. Okay. And then we have a variety of participants here, major industry participants. Mm-hmm. Google, and we know the World Bank is involved. We know that much of the corporate banking structure globally is involved and interested in this.
Again, I'm not taking their side, but I do talk to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these people, if government advisors and chief scientists approach somebody in industry, and the person in industry generally has done a degree in law, civil law or something, or some other economic degree. They do not have degrees in nuclear and atomic physics. They do not have qualifications in microwave warfare. They do not have other qualifications. So in England, it might be a knighted person. Mm-hmm. If somebody who is highly respected by the government with a government chief advisor goes along and sits down and says, we can make you a lot of money if you do this, and we are also going to benefit the population, they will believe them. So again, if you have the industries there, it is probably not true that they know or realize the harm that they are going to do, because they have families and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and I suspect a lot of them wouldn't go ahead with this if they fully understand the situation.
People what Barry just said, man, right? What he's saying is that this is compartmentalization, right? They might not understand that what they're working on is part of something bigger, right? And they don't know the full extent of what's going on. So they could be working on a certain aspect of a project, not knowing that this thing they're working on is contributed to something that's a lot huger, right? That's part of this whole plan, this whole agenda with electronic harassment through microwave technology. They don't know that they're working on this situation right here. They don't know that this part of this research and development into this technology or whatever the situation is, they don't know that it's going to be used to surveil massive amounts of people in America, American citizens, based off of certain criteria, so specific that it can get down to the very genome type. You might not understand that it goes that far as you're working on this as a student at MIT. And the school sitting here getting all this money from these corporations to do research and development, and they just using their brightest minds just to siphon all of this knowledge out of y'all. Don't even cut y'all in on the profits that's about to be made. It's crazy, right? Yeah, man, but we're gonna put an end to that though, man. Let's go.
There are many scientists who realize what their scientific experiments have now caused. They're not being used for the benefit of mankind. And they're now seeing how those are being used against their children, their families, and the world at large. And they're coming out and they're letting this be known. And they're now being targeted with microwaves, and the inventions that they've created are now being used against many of these whistleblowers, would you say?
Yes, and I can give you a specific example from a chief scientific officer in England. But if you're going to become a whistleblower, you must realize, first of all, you're going to receive death threats. And these are very serious death threats. You are going to lose your job. Your children are not going to get a job or go to university. It is a family sacrifice as well as yours. And I can give you an example. I received many cryptic and strange messages from senior persons. And I received a message from a very, very senior government scientist in the top secret experimental place in England. And he said, I need to talk to you, Barry. And I said, okay. And we met. And he said, I'm going to give you the perspective from where I am sitting. He said, we have received a contract from the government to do research. I'm researching microwaves, the effect of microwaves on the brain and the heart. He said, now, I am one of the country's leading research scientists. What they have asked me to do is study the brain and the heart being exposed to various microwaves, a specific pulse frequency known to affect the brain and the heart. He said, now, I know, and you know, because a part of my degree, it was experimental physics. He said, I know and you know that if we're going to do a study on the heart and the brain, we're looking at about 15 years. It will take about 10 years to do the study and another 5 years to tie up the loose ends, write it, have it peer reviewed, go to publication. And so he said, you and I know, because if I said to you, how long would it take you to do these experiments? You would say to me, 10 to 15 years, which is what the drug companies do when they're testing a new drug. It's always a minimum of 10 years, maybe longer. They don't always get it right, but at least they have a go. And he said to me, there's a lot of money involved here. He said, now, do you know how long they've given me to do the experiments on the brain and the heart? One of them, 10 minutes.
Wow.
The other one is 20 or 25 minutes. He said, I can do them both in an hour and have time for a cup of coffee. He said, now, I know that when I do these, the results are going to show safe, 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 safe. And I know they are going to use this with the stamp of my laboratory to say, this is safe, sell it. And this particular system has been sold now to 150 countries as safe. And he said to me, now, I've done nothing wrong. I did the experiment. I have produced the results, which are safe. He said, but I know this is going to be abused. I know people are going to die because this is going to be published. Women are going to get breast cancers, miscarriages, all sorts of things are going to happen. He said, but they are going to do that, not me. He said, now, I am in a top government scientist job. I have a top salary. I have 2 children at university, 1 at college. I have a mortgage on a big, beautiful house. If I spill the beans, I will lose everything today and I will never work again. The children come out of university. My life will be a mess.
You know what I'm talking about? That's the big homie Barry Trower, man. Y'all can go watch this video on YouTube, The Cooking of Humanity. That's Barry Trower breaks down his experience and knowledge in microwave technology, specifically being used as weapon, and the extension of the various capabilities and applications of this technology, and how the various governments around the world have been using and, in fact, implementing this technology for at least 60 to 70 years. Right? I think Barry is still alive, too. Right? Shout out to my pops, man. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to say a prayer for my pops, man. Make sure everything good with him. I'm going to go swing by his house tomorrow, see what's good with him. You know what I'm talking about? And we're going to get up out of here. We're going to have a special show tomorrow, part 2, to tell of things to come, right? Breaking down the Netflix movie Leave the World Behind. You did. Tap in, walk with us, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, Jack. You know? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, Jack. You did. I'm gonna leave y'all with this song tonight, man, because y'all gotta wake up,
Power
man.
on. Bluetooth.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fake woke niggas out here,
Bluetooth
man.
connected.
You feel me? And I don't want y'all to ever get things twisted. You know what I mean? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, everybody, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. I'll let y'all know when we're gonna go in. Pause. It might be a little bit early. We're gonna go in though, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Enjoy time with your family, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah. E&E. Stacks with the facts. What up, Stacks? I got my man Bliss the Guarantee on the track with me. Bliss the Guarantee. Yeah. We bringing this message to you fake woke niggas. Gotta wake these niggas up, man. All y'all out there spreading them lies and falling victim to this propaganda. Niggas believe it. Hey, Glitch. Let's talk to these niggas. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin Ailey. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, tell them up, time to wake them up. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin Ailey. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, tell them up, time to wake them up. I gotta set the alarm, wake you up from your slumber. Wake them up, Floyd and Harry, fake woke niggas, y'all dumbass. I drop jewels, but people don't pay any attention. Let's see immediately, we the wake them up henchmen. A lot of times these woke niggas be really sleep. Shit, the price on a nigga's life is extra real cheap. Only the real for my niggas, we all only. We made a living eating these rappers, nigga, bon appetit. Yeah, pause. Me and my brethren be down for the cause. We gotta come together and tear down all these walls and illusory fault lines like racism and bring light to the woke, just like the Baptist. The congregation spoke. These niggas ain't who they claim to be. A bunch of Peter pop off niggas really be lame to me. Anytime you at war, it's gonna be casualties. The more we come together, it's easy to beat the enemies. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin Ailey. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, wake them up, time to wake them up. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily, so I dance around them like my name was Alvin Ailey. Fake woke niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, wake them up, time to wake them up. Alarm clock to the woke, time to wake them up. The main initiative should be to get your cake up. You wave riding niggas need life jackets to stay afloat. Meanwhile, I'm blowing on gas straight from the Ivory Coast. In every post, I'll be hitting y'all with them straight facts. The smart grid is now here. We gotta face that. While they coming with microchips and vaccinations, fake woke niggas perpetuating indoctrination. Fuck this pandemic. This was a damn gimmick. Niggas will believe that they mom died if she still living. Open your eyes, nigga. You can see the lies, nigga. We gotta stop letting the blind lead the blind, nigga. And that's the biggest fact, bitch. You better tell them niggas Agenda 2030. It's gonna be hell, niggas. Over. Fuck AOC and her new green deal. I'm Neo in this bitch. You want they red pill.